Hello, you all. I just wanted to share a vision with you all from the glad tidings. Give y'all something to think about, some food for thought. Something to think about and marinate on. So, visions. Changing our vision is what the world calls repentance. But this article is about changing our vision in a real way. And that change when we look at the two worlds we inhabit at the same time. The outer world of appearances and the inner world of spirit. From the world of appearances, life may look very different from 1 minute to the next, one person to the next, or one age of the world to the next. But from the world of spirit, there's only one process going on. We get born, we have good and bad times, we experience a wide range of emotions such as desire, love, anger, fear. We face various challenges that make us feel good or bad about ourselves. We learn some things and forever wonder about other things. And then we move on into the unknown. The outer world of appearances, what we usually call reality, is nothing more than a prop room. It contains everything that operates under the law of time. I think about it. No matter what we ever get or have, we won't be able to hold on to it for very long. Our possessions, our greatest inventions, even the wonders of nature, and our own bodies, merely props. We use them for a while, but then the parts rust, the paint peels, the flesh sags, the heart stops, the earth quakes, even the sun will eventually burn out. What time brings us, time takes away. It's all a part of the deal. But time is itself no more than a stage prop to the inner world, the world of the spirit. Because this mysterious spirit can't be seen, heard, tasted, smelled, or touched. We let our curiosity fade as we grow up. Even though we're never quite satisfied in the outer world, we limit our attention to our busy daily lives and try to believe that's all there is to reality. Society doesn't run too well on mysteries. So the standard policy seems to be, if we don't understand it, it must not exist. Problem solved. But living with such a closed-in mind is bound to be a drag sooner or later. And this is what Yahweh said about needing to be born of the Spirit, in addition to being born of the flesh. Yahweh gave us one of the keys to the kingdom and a tip on how to change our vision. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh, and everything else will be added unto you. And when someone asked Yahshua just where to find this spiritual kingdom, he said, neither shall you lo here or lo there, but the kingdom is within you. Neither shall you say lo here or lo there, but the kingdom is within you. The problem is there are some pretty spectacular props in this movie. And most of us stay so busy chasing them, our lives are almost over before we start to think about how empty we feel. First, seek this kingdom is not so much a matter of becoming religious, a religious fanatic, or going into a covenant, but rather, like Doc said, to simply pay attention. Spiritually, as we go about our normal lives, first is a matter of moment by moment priorities, not months or years. When our central aim is to find this inner kingdom, then we discover how it is that everything comes to us. We see that every person, place, and event in our lives is perfectly designed to teach us something. We need to learn in order to know Yahweh, ourselves, as He is and actually exists in us. This is what Yahshua, Doc Kinley, and Dr. Snellbaker has been trying to tell us. This is what it means being in this world but not of it. We just have to pay attention. Being students rather than victims of our lives. After all, don't students go to school? IDMR promoting Inc. to learn. At first, after we're born, our mother is enough for us. But lasting peace is a part of the mystery. It can never be found in the world of appearances. Yet the more we discover the hungrier we seem to be for still more. Perhaps the most important realization of our whole lives is when it finally hits us that nothing we ever get, see, taste, smell, touch, hear, or think about is going to bring us the peace we really seek. This is what the Buddha called his first noble truth. We tend to fight against this natural law, the law of time, so we suffer more and more. There are some people who get all the power, success, fame, or riches they thought they wanted, and instead of being happy, they soon destroy themselves. We don't have to look far for examples. Elvis Presley, John Belushi, Judy Garland, Marilyn Monroe, Jimi Hendrix, Billie Holiday, and the list could go on for pages. What clearer reminder do we need that if we're not at peace with ourselves, then we're in a self-made prison of one kind or another? Sitting in Pelican Skeleton Bay State Prison, it's hard to imagine that some swinging millionaire in Beverly Hills could possibly be suffering as much, but it's true. In fact, that uptown suffering is more often worse because their minds can't come up with as many excuses for being so miserable or why life is so unbearably painful. Most of us say, shit, give me $1 million. I bet I won't be miserable. But that's being in the world as well as a part of it. Doesn't the book say to come out of her? Do not be a partaker of her plagues. Yahweh does not need to see to it that you are miserable. You will do that to yourself, all by yourself. The bottom line is that we create our own curses or blessings. Every experience comes to us spiritually in neutral, no matter what our carnal mind tells us. Choose you this day. Remember, Pharaoh didn't have a choice. Moses didn't have a choice. Yahshua didn't have a choice. We have a choice. In closing, there's a story from the Mahabharata in the Hindu holy book, where this very virtuous and righteous king named, y'all excuse me if I butchered this, the Yudhishthira, is challenged by an evil king to throw crooked dice, and the whole kingdom is at stake. And this great king is going to be banished with his brothers into the forest for 13 years if he loses. He already knows it's a crooked game. It's a rigged game. But it's not virtuous of him to deny the challenge. Somebody says to him, "Why are you doing this?" And he says, "Kingdom or forest? What's the difference? Over the next 13 years, I'm going to experience happiness, misery, beauty, and tragedy. Good times and bad times, whether I roll the dice or not." When we change our minds about the way we look at life, we become like a gambler with his mortgage in his back pocket and our hands trembling on the dice, and there's so much at stake. Because we're afraid of what might happen. When there's all that fear, you know you are always going to lose at the table. But on the other hand, if we change our vision, mind, about life and relinquish our attachments to the outer world of appearance, we can become like spiritual warriors fighting the good fight. After all, the end is declared from the beginning. And you know what? The good guys already won. Dr. Ronnie Colbert, Pelican Bay, California. So I thought that piece of food was very, 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 very good. It's all good. But it's something that I've been thinking about myself. And it was like a confirmation. Because everybody is so hung up on the outer, on the outer, on the outer. And is not worried about the inner. It's not worried about spirit. It's not worried about Elohim. It's not worried about Yahweh. It's not worried about the Son, Yahshua. Everybody is focused on that outer. Even when it is temporary. Because everybody clings on and attaches onto these physical things. Even more than the one that created. People will hold on to keep the world and keep the world as is. Hold on to earthly things. When you just get the physical so you can learn of Yahweh. Because you cannot see spirit. This is not eternal. Yahweh is eternal. It is a time to change the mind, shift the focus, realize the vision. Because everything is borrowed. When you pass away, you take nothing with you, not even your body, not even this meat suit. So what are you really holding on to? It's okay to utilize these things, but to have such an attachment on these things to neglect the one who truly loves you and the one that made you is something else. It is being of the world. It is clinging on to fleshly things and material things when those things are not eternal. Yahweh is eternal and forever. And everything else is temporary. So it's just something to think about. Because as people, we stress our own selves out. We put a lot on ourselves. And yeah, sometimes we like to blame Satan. Yeah, sometimes we like to even blame Yahweh. Blame Yahshua. Blame anybody. But it's us that put it on ourselves for the things that is on our mind and the things that we are attached to. Forgetting that this is a spiritual experience. Forgetting to seek Him and seek that love eternal. To be with Him eternally. And a lot of people are going to miss that mark. I had a dream before. And in that dream, it was dark, but it was stars all around. It was a hint of purple, a hint of blue. There were about maybe 3 people walking. And it was like walking on a journey on that road to go back unto Him. And with myself included in that dream, me seeing me, I couldn't see the other people. But that road was so scarce that it alarmed me. Not many people is really truly on that journey. So it's just something to think about. Do you want to be attached to temporary things and things that won't last? Or do you want to be attached to what is eternal, that lasts always? So it's just something for you to think about. I'm actually going to pull a grateful heart message. I just want to also say this, you don't want to wait till it's too late. Clinging on to things that will end eventually. You don't want to be, when it's all said and done, looking silly, looking foolish, because you never strive to have eternal life or to build that relationship with the one who created you. Elohim, may we please get a grateful heart message, please? Never lose an opportunity of seeing anything that is beautiful. For beauty is Yahweh's handwriting, a wayside sacrament. Welcome it in every fair face, in every fair sky, in every fair flower, and thank Yahweh, for it is a cup of blessing. Praise Yahweh, from whom all blessings flow. We thank you, O Yahweh. We give thanks because you are near. Never miss an opportunity to see anything that is beautiful. Double confirmation. Surely Yahweh is my help, and Yahweh is the one who sustains me. He's the one who sustains everything and gives life to everything. Yahweh delights in his people. He crowns the humble with victory. Shout for joy to Yahweh, all the earth. Give thanks to Yahweh for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind. So I hope you all got something from the message to help you along your journey. This is something for you to think about. Know that Yahweh loves you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all later. Peace. Good night.